Hey everyone, it's Zach, and today I'm going to be doing my top 5 fall fragrances. Now, these are my personal picks. You don't have to take them as recommendations, but if you want to, you can. I personally love every fragrance on this list, so if you want to take that as a recommendation, then by all means. Now, this is my first video, so I don't know how it's going to go, but hopefully you enjoy and you learn something. So, I got 3 honorable mentions. So I'm going to start with this one. This is Cape Artic from Imaginary Authors. Now, I only have the travel size, but I'd love to get a full bottle sometime because I love this fragrance. Now, basically what this one smells like is a lot of pine and woodsy vibes with an undertone of strawberry. So you definitely get the strawberry right off the top and throughout the entire life of the fragrance, and it gets sweeter as it goes. And this is definitely unisex. This is probably the most unisex out of anything on this list. It's marketed as unisex, and I definitely think a woman could pull this one off, but I like rocking this one too. On foggy, rainy, coldish days. Not freezing, but this is perfect for fall, in my opinion. So that's Cape Artic. First honorable mention. Now the second honorable mention is Bulgari Black, the hockey puck. Now this one, I really do like this fragrance, but the thing about this one is that I think I have a better fragrance for any occasion that I would wear this for. For a date, I've got a better fragrance. For a night out, I've got a better fragrance. For pretty much anything I would use this for, I have a better fragrance. But this, in and of itself, is a great fragrance. It's got a lot of vanilla, I believe leather too, and as you can see, it's like a rubbery texture on the bottle, and that kind of reflects how it smells. It kind of has a rubbery, almost like a burnt tire kind of smell, but it doesn't really smell burny or smoky, if that makes any sense. Performance-wise, this one, it's all right on my skin. It's not as great as I've heard other people get, but it's respectable. But then again, the other fragrances that I would use instead of this have better performance. So it's Bulgari Black. And I did forget to mention the performance on Cape Artic. This one gives me great performance. It gives me probably around 10 hours of longevity, and the projection is about moderate, but really good performance for that one. And the last honorable mention, Perry Ellis M. Now this one, everyone compares this to Allure Homme. I have smelled that fragrance and I do pick up on the similarities, but this one I think smells a little bit more classical and mature. And that's one of the reasons why it's not in my list personally, because as you can see, I'm not really an old guy, so this doesn't really fit me as a person, but I really do like the way it smells. It's got cinnamon, vanilla, star anise, and I think that's what gives it the mature vibe that it has. So it's just not really my thing, but for a mature man, this would really do wonders. In the cold winter air, the sillage of this thing is really nice. I said winter, I mean fall. But anyways, Perry Ellis M. Honorable mention, number 3. Alright, now, into the list. Number 5 is going to be a tie. And this is the only tie in my list between Mont Blanc Individuel and Salvatore Ferragamo F Black. Now, let's start with Individuel. Now this one, I'm sure you've heard plenty about it in the community. I bought it off the hype, and I'm really glad I did. This is a great fragrance. It's pretty unique in this category. Now I know it gets compared to Original Santal all the time, but I've smelled that one. I have a sample of it, but I honestly prefer this one mostly because of the performance and also the price. This performs really well. It gives me probably around 7 to 8 hours. I actually got a compliment from this about 8 hours or 9 hours into the life of the fragrance, so it definitely performs, and the projection is pretty strong too, so I would recommend not overspraying this one, especially if you're going to be in school or work or something like that. But it's definitely unique, I would say. It has sort of a fabric softener smell, as you probably heard before. It kind of smells like fabric softener with a little bit of a sweet vibe. Overall, it's sort of a dense, fresh type vibe, if that makes any sense. I definitely think fall and spring are the best 2 months for this one. So there's that, Mont Blanc Individual. And now the other, number 5, F Pour Homme Black by Ferragamo. Now I know the new Uomo fragrance gets all the hype, but I personally prefer this one. This one also has similarities, just like with Perry Ellis M, to Chanel Allure Homme, but this is a much more aggressive and strong fragrance than that one. This one gives me, honestly, I stopped smelling it on myself after about 5 or 6 hours, but I get compliments after that, and the projection on this thing is just beastly. So again, don't overspray this. I would wear it outside if you're going to wear it, maybe outside with a nice coat or something. Maybe an outfit like this would work, but really nice stuff. Lavender, apple, pepper, really big pepper note in this one. One of my personal favorites for fall. Yeah, really nice stuff. All right, number 4. Let's go with this one. And this is the One EDP from Dolce & Gabbana. Now this one, yeah, this one's just classic. And I don't mean classic meaning that it smells old or dated or anything like that. It's just what a men's fragrance should be. Whenever I picture a men's fragrance, this is the fragrance that comes into my mind. It's just the scent. And I know Boss has a fragrance called The Scent, but this is really the scent. Just ambery, tobacco, sweet, smooth fragrance. Just, there's really no one who dislikes it. I've never found anyone who dislikes it, but I've personally never really found anyone who loves it, like some of the other fragrances on this list. But overall, it's a really safe fragrance, has decent performance, gives me about 6 hours. But for the situations you'd be using this for, maybe like a nice event or date, you don't really need that big of performance anyways, so I think it's just perfect for that. But I highly recommend this one if you're looking for a versatile fall fragrance. Alright, next up on the list, sort of a similar category, but very different scent, La Nuit de l'Homme. Oh yeah, I've been through so much with this fragrance. This is my date fragrance. I've used this for almost a year, and I just love the scent personally. Cardamom, lavender, a little bit of bergamot up top, and the opening of this fragrance is just amazing. I'm just gonna. Oh yeah, you can't beat it. For dates, you can't beat this fragrance, I'm telling you right now. I mean, for the kind of guy that I am, I'm telling you that you can't beat this one. Now I know CH Men Privé is also a really revered date fragrance. That one I feel is more for of a bad boy type of guy, and this one's more for the softer metrosexual type of guy. And that may sound unappealing, but some guys are just that way, and it works perfectly for me. So that's La Nuit de l'Homme. I've gotten a lot of love comments with this one. A lot of people have really liked this one on me, and I get pretty good performance, and I think this is a 2014 batch. And I get about 7 hours with it, with pretty decent projection, at least in the beginning. So I can't complain there. Now, next on the list, this one, objectively, is not the best out of the list, but personally, I love it because I think it just smells like fall, and that's London by Burberry. Oh yeah, it just smells to me sort of like a wet leaves on a damp morning, maybe walking through a park or something like that, but it just smells like fall. That's all I can say. I know it has tobacco as one of the main notes. It's sort of a common trend in these darker fragrances. Tobacco is normally a pretty big note, and it's definitely true with this one, but it just kind of smells like damp leaves in the fall time. And that sounds a little bit weird to say it, but honestly, it's something you just have to smell. It's kind of hard to describe the scent other than just saying it's fall in a bottle. And this one's not too strong. I probably get about 5 or 6 hours, but it's just so festive for fall and even Christmas time too. This is perfect. Some people say it has a pine vibe. I don't really get that, but it just screams fall and winter to me, so that's why it's number 2. And here we are at the number 1. This one is gonna come as a surprise to most people, considering, first of all, that I would have chosen this, and second of all, because I even have it. But without further ado, Eau Jean by Parfums de Marly. Now this bottle is so heavy, but this fragrance, I just love it. It smells super sweet, like an apple pie in a bottle. Even though there's no apple note in this, it just has the most delicious gourmand notes I've ever smelled in a fragrance. Vanilla, cinnamon, tonka, resins, it's just so deep, so rich. And I think it was Jeremy who said it just smells like a king, and I definitely agree with that. So I just love the scent. I've gotten the comment a couple times that it smells like incense, that it smells spicy. I have gotten a good bit of compliments with this because it does perform pretty well. I get about 8 or 9 hours with this, with very good projection, at least in the start of the fragrance. So I would definitely recommend this one. At least try it, sample it before you buy it, just to make sure. But this is just, you can't go wrong with this in the fall and winter. Honestly, this is my favorite. So thank you all for watching. That was my list. Comment and subscribe. Let me know what your favorite fall fragrances are, and if you like any of the fragrances on my list, then let me know. Anyways, peace out, guys. I'll see you next time.